Hey up everybody and welcome back. My name's Kanan and thanks for joining me for my review of Nightmare Reaper on the Nintendo Switch, and it's also on the Steam store and all those other major consoles you can get. So go ahead and hit them like and subscribe buttons and let's find out if this FPS truly is as gory as they say. You rise to prevent her doom and duke it out with nightmares to reap salvation from below. Okay, so I'm going to be slightly vague here because I don't really want to spoil too many things, but it's pretty apparent from the beginning that part of this is a dream and part of it is set in a mental institution. And I'll be filling in a few more blanks to do with this sort of thing, obviously, in the review, but I kind of want to stay away from some things, mainly because of how they made me feel when I found them myself and wasn't told about them. But trust me, you'll like what you find. Right then, a roguelike with some, you have to admit, pretty decent ideas in here. Set in kind of like a dungeon-like area, this game is insane. You start with a training section and a knife that you can stab like a psycho or throw like a pro darts player. But then the weapons start to trickle in, collecting them from boxes and other means, and some of those weapons are, well, for want of a better word, bonkers. Knife, guns, Uzis, chainsaws, insect thing, and even magic, and even better when you realise what you're conjuring. Some of these weapons can even have stats, and these can be changed at certain parts in the game. Adding to all of this, pickups and power boosts, health ammo, orbs and coins which is used to put up your weapons and the like. And trust me, there are loads of different weapons, and they even have levels. Nightmare Reaper just oozes quality. At the end of each section there's a summary of things that you should have collected and found, like secrets, treasures, how many enemies you've killed out of how many enemies there was, gold you've collected, and all of this adds up to a bonus. And then for the next section you even get to choose one of your weapons to keep or to carry on to the next section. Then you go back to the asylum. The asylum is kind of used to advance the storytelling, and this is done through read out notes which are voiced. Yep, actually voiced. But I am staying away from this part because of the spoilers, because if you got the same feelings I did, you'd be getting a feeling of there's something not quite right here. And whether that statement's true or not, it still gives you that feeling. The game controlled rather well, although I found some weapons harder to control than others, but not so fiddly that I couldn't pull off all the different options while playing. There was plenty of enemies and even environmental traps, and again some surprises dotted around. And I have to admit it felt good to kick doors open as well as some walls. So you got to jump, run, change weapon, you obviously fire weapons, etc, etc, and an option button that doubles up as a kick button. And it really made me happy using this, because to my mind it made the game cooler. And hey, when you run out of all other options, it's nice to know that there's still an option to hit an enemy with. The dev team has seemingly thought of everything. There's plenty of challenges to tick off a list. There's modes or mods that it is in this game to change the game in little subtle ways to make it slightly different. And there's even a speed run timer for all you speed runners out there. It really does have almost everything you could ask. And oh yeah, I can't really do this review without mentioning the skill tree. And I wasn't going to put this in here, but it's such a brilliant feature, and it's hands down the best way to upgrade your skills I've ever seen in a game, and really captures a simple version of another game, but I just can't put my finger on what it is. And you can even change up the gore in the settings, so you can have it on a low setting or a high setting, and well yeah, of course I put it on the high setting. Honestly, it's been a long while since I felt so captivated by a game, and that's why I'm avoiding a few things or not going into so much detail, as I want you to feel the same when you experience them. So, this game is really atmospheric, sounds great, powerful and creepy, and she even laughs at times when downing enemies. The music is fantastic, and it really is a shame I can't show it off, and right down to bits being voiced, which was a surprise. I never really understood this obsession with doing old school graphics in a modern type way, until now. I have to admit these graphics are pretty, and I now understand that whole old school with a modern day feel to it. It makes sense now. I mean, just look at it. It even has like a paper feel to it as you dispatch enemies, which is pretty darn cool. And so many little details like catching fire and being able to put yourself out in water with a cloud of steam appearing when you do so. And that skill tree is just genius. It really is. Let's move on to the score, shall we? In short, Nightmare Reaper is one of them games that's just fun to play, but it's also apparent that a lot of effort has gone into making it. From the sheer amount of weapons, even chain whips, and weird ones that I don't even understand how they work. They even nailed the look and sound of this game, pleasing to all the senses. I'm giving Nightmare Reaper a 9 out of 10 and recommend to those who love this genre and even those who basically want to get into this sort of genre, as I do think this is one of them games that sells a genre to players. And with that, let me know down below in the comments whether you'll be picking up Nightmare Reaper or any thoughts that you have on it. Hit those like and subscribe buttons, really doing us a solid, and also come and join us in our community Discord. The link is down below. So take care wherever you are, because life is better when we game together.